For everyone that is not aware, there has been 1700 leaks about Classic Plus, starting from about 2 years ago. But one leak triggered the beginning, and that was a data mine by a man called Steven, right here. New heroic and epic licenses for the World of Warcraft Camelot were pushed. Not much information about it, but it looks like a brand new WoW game unrelated to current Midnight/Titan. I suspect the Classic Plus everyone talks about. This was on June 16th. Okay, I did look more and can confirm it was 100% patch 1.60's mainline Camelot. Now, this becomes relevant because of this. This slate was leaked on August 9th, 2025. This is via the Wayback Machine. Camelot was leaked a full year, well not a full year, but almost a full year before somebody confirmed that 1.60 was Project Camelot. And this data mine by Steven effectively confirms that this slate here is real. Now, this slate has quite a few things on it, for example, Chronicles in the anime series, Arthur's in the live action game. But what it does confirm is that they had Kata and Mop in development, but no Warlords, and TBC came out in Q1 2026. Wrath is coming out Q1 2027 by the looks of it. But there is no more Cataclysm. We get Classic Fresh and TBC again, and again, and again. And it effectively looks like, till the end of days, the Era crowd can finally eat good and sleep good because they get their forever Era rolling out. So, now that we confirm that this slate here is real, and the story behind this slate is pretty goddamn stupid, but effectively, a girl on the marketing team, she got this sent to her. Her boyfriend took a picture, uploaded it, he got roasted, and then left the internet because he got made fun of so much for his very creative leak and took it down. Then a year later, Steven data mines it. Turns out that 1.60 is called Camelot, and then somebody data mines this again with the Wayback Machine, and turns out that boom, he was speaking the truth, Camelot is real, and that is Classic Plus. Then of course, he data mined some more things, some more interesting things like a Shendorai race. Unsure now this is for Classic Plus or retail, but it could be connected to the TBD NPC race 1/2 Horde/Alliance, but possibly the Skyborn thing that we data mined back in 12.0.5. So nobody is sure if the new Elf race is Classic Plus or retail. But if it's retail, it's not surprising. If it's Classic Plus, it's also not surprising. It could go either direction and be the exact same thing. There is nothing magical, there's nothing mysterious, there's nothing surprising about this leak here, about a multi-faction Elf race. So then we continue. After this is when the fake leaks start to happen. And these leaks start coming out in large numbers. So leak 1 here happened on May 11th. This was over a month before the Camelot leak. But this one was kind of very shitty and very fake from the get-go. It was talking about seasons and things of that nature. It was effectively just Season of Discovery but remade. And we know for a fact that Season of Discovery is not Classic Plus, and Classic Plus is not a seasonal game mode, it is a forever game mode. The amount of time the devs have talked about cooking in the kitchen, the permanent future, making something for the classic player base, they're not making another seasonal game mode. But the leaks started getting more and more obnoxious. October 13th release date by Big Blizzard Bear. Leak 3 by In Anonymity, the fresh Classic Plus info. And this guy got his info from somebody that doesn't have anything to do with Blizzard, and it just goes into so much detail that so many of these leaks are fake. No one leaker who's not a Blizzard dev is going to have access to all aspects of the game when they work at a different part of the company. Then leak 4 was kind of the most realistic one in this case, that the guy didn't know everything, and what he did know was limited, and he kind of made it sound realistic because he talked about the family and friends alpha and beta. And this one was again on July 2026, but it was just another first time poster by a guy called Lapidus, and even this one is fake. I put real question mark because it's the closest to being something real because of, in this context, how down to earth he made it sound out to be. But he also just made up a lot of shit like 3 new classes, the Scout class and a bunch of other shit like that. He knew too much, and despite limiting, he still said way too much about the game. But that's not the main reason. The reason is 3 new classes isn't happening. At least not in my personal opinion. Then you have Leak 5 by Half Fallen. Early classified information from Central European MMO Influence Organization. This organization doesn't even exist. It's not even a real organization. I looked it up. I couldn't find a single reference. Quite literally the fakest shit I've seen. And the guy just goes on to write a couple of wish list ideas for what he thinks zones are called and a bunch of other little things like that. Now, before I go on, what is Classic Plus as Project Camelot? Classic Plus is going to be a game that continues vanilla, but is not a direct continuation of Classic. It is a game that brings vanilla to the modern forefront by making vanilla World of Warcraft a modernized game. That's going to mean hashtag a lot of changes, not hashtag a wish list that is semi-retail. So we go back. Leak 6, Keyboard Turner, July 2026. What I know about Camelot, this guy here, this is one of the more realistic leaks, not because it's leaked anything, he just didn't say anything. No level cap, very minimal zones, dungeons that just fit into the new zones, Grim Battle, no new class changes, a majority specs are revamped, Survival Hunter becomes melee, Red Paladin reworked, all specs get new rows of talents, runes don't return from Season Discovery. The class mastery system is kind of LARPing and just jerking himself off. Then new race, High Elf. High Elves are a neutral race, so Horde gets Blood Elves, Alliance gets High Elves. Late 2026 release, Season Discovery instances are carried over, and then a few retail features. The story's on an alternate timeline, all will be canon to retail. This was a realistic kind of leak because the guy just didn't yap about anything. He just gave what he thought was realistic and left it at that. Then you have Leak 7, World of Warcraft Camelot 1.60. Release date September 19th. This is just straight up LARP because the guy said Death Knight, Dark Ranger, and Necromancer, and only available to the Scourge because it added a brand new faction called Scourge. Like, some of these people just LARP so hard they give themselves out. There's no universe that we're getting a third faction when they can barely balance 2 factions. And now they're gonna add 3 new classes only available to the Scourge. And then of course he gives some information that is kind of like broken because he goes, these 3 races are exclusive to the Scourge. And then he proceeds to go, only Elven races can be Dark Ranger, also Scourge exclusive. Necromancer added to Human, Forsaken for Horde, and Scourge version of Forsaken for the 3rd faction. Like, he says it's only for the Scourge, then says it's for the Horde and Alliance right afterward. Leak 8, on the 14th of July. 3 new leveling zones, Northern Stratholme. He made Stratholme a low level zone for some reason. He made the Highlands 3040, Kazan a whole new thing. He added this weird thing about specializations being locked to 2 per race. And he made a very, this is what would make me happy type wish list. But it gets worse because then we're at Leak 9. This guy right here goes into detail, into too much detail. He played everything from level 10, 20, 30, 40. He got to test everything. He got to see everything. He got to do everything. No one at these Family and Friends alphas are going to be playing everything. You don't have enough time to play everything. It's the same slow leveling of Classic. It takes about 150 hours to hit 60. It's going to take 80, 90 hours to hit level 40. There's no universe that this guy is going to suddenly be playing multiple template characters, multiple experiences, doing all these dungeons, all these professions, all these zones in just what? He got flown out to BlizzCon and just got food, hotel and everything for 2 weeks to test shit out? Just to test the leveling? That's not happening. And then this is where the divergence kind of begins. You have 1.60 being taken from being an encrypted server to a vendor server. So it's no longer just available for developers, it is now data mineable. But we'll cover that more in detail because they immediately made it private again and now got removed from all versions of the game and you can't data mine anything about it anymore. We then go into a circle of leaks, and I'm gonna call this the circle of fake, right? Fake news, the circle of just making shit up for the sake of making shit up. And this isn't even every single leak so far. This is just the leaks done in the past 3 days. Right here, all leaks you see here was done between August 1st and August 4th. Just 3 days worth of leaks. Between leak 9 and this leak right here, there is almost 40 new leaks. So in total, if you are counting every single leak since the beginning of July, there has been almost 90 leaks about Classic Plus. And somehow every single one is on MMO Champion. I am not trying to say that every single leak is fake. I'm not gonna say that. What I'm gonna say is, did somehow every single person and their mother get flown out to BlizzCon to test things, and every single person and their mother got to try out a completely different version of the game? Because the Classic dev team seems to have, based on these leaks, 700 employees, is the biggest team at Blizzard, and is somehow making multiple versions of the game to make every single Classic WoW fan happy forever. If there is a real leak, I haven't seen one yet. And before you guys say, how would you know, Eben? Just trust me. These leaks are fake as fuck. Some of the leaks are real. Not the leaks themselves, but some of the sentences on the leak. For example, somebody saying, we're gonna get neutral elven faction. So both Horde and Alliance get elves. That could very well be real, not because the guy played, but because it's a good guess. It is the simplest way to give the Horde and Alliance two attractive races that both sides want to play. You give the ugly faction, the Horde, Blood Elves, and you give them Paladins via that, and then you give the Alliance High Elves, and via High Elves, they get another Druid class. You can give them little ways to, well, High Elves shouldn't really be Druids, and I'm gonna take that away. Technically, certain aspects could potentially do that, but it'd make more sense to give Dwarves Shaman or the Rune Master class and just shade it as Shaman to make it more unique to the Alliance, an Alliance flavored Shaman, effectively the exact same as the Horde Shaman, but it's just called Rune Master. Same way that the Horde could get Death Knights, but it's just Paladin. This is based off the OG intention back during the development of Vanilla. A human Paladin would have to complete a quest line, become a Death Knight after committing an atrocity like Arthur's, and then they would become a Horde Death Knight. Exact same skills and abilities as the Alliance Paladin, just shaded Death Knight. If they bring that back, that could be a cool feature, but that's a lot of dev time and development for just one class and one race being able to become a Death Knight, whereas the Dwarves would just, pick up Rune Master as a default class from the get-go. So I don't know how they would do that. I think they would just give both sides Shaman and Paladin, but regardless. So right here, you have all of these leaks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 leaks in 3 days. Just 3 days for these leaks. And it's genuinely a travesty because leak season has gotten to the point of being beyond obnoxious. In just 1 month, 20 leaks is obnoxious. 20 leaks is beyond obnoxious for something to have happened in a singular month. They have ruined the hype behind leaks. I know all my friends are covering these, they're having a blast, they're great stream content, but it's genuinely frustrating for somebody like me who makes theory crafting content. I can't cover these leaks because they're genuine bullshit LARPing wish list. I'm trying to cuss less, I cuss a lot. Nonetheless, we're gonna quickly zoom into the very last leak that just happened, and this one is the most recent one. And I'm only going to read this one leak and none others. This is by Furbolg Skyborn. WoW Classic New Test leak. Well, it's on to proper testing before reveal and release. Rejoice. New Alliance race, Furbolg. Starting zone, Nendus Reach. You got funneled into Darkshore. City, Grizzlerend. In High Totem rather than Nendus Reach. First couple not connected to a starter zone. Classes, Warrior, Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Shaman, Druid. Still same Furbolgs from a place north and east of Winterspring, old ally of the Night Elves. New Horde race, Skyborn. Starting race, Stone Talon Peaks. Got funneled into the Barrens, gets funneled into the Barrens. City Nun, one find in the future. Warrior, Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Mage, Shaman. Harpy offshooted as males and a rudimentary civilization resembling a cross between normal Harpies and highborn civilization. Ratio allows them to pick between walking, standing, and hover, flying. And this is such a good wish list. I wish Furbolg and Skyborn were real. But bro is creative because we then get High Elf and Goblin to make it realistic. Then class revamps to integrate sword runes, Human Hunter, Dwarf Shaman, Gnome Hunter, Gnome Priest, Orc Priest, Undead Pally, Undead Hunter, and Troll Warlock. 3 new dungeons, 2 new battlegrounds, sword leveling raids are made level 60. Like, it was a good wish list, but it was just another fake leak because the same reason we didn't get ogres, they couldn't make female ogres look appealing. The same reason we didn't get Naga, they couldn't make armor for Naga in a way that just fit and made sense. They're not gonna fucking add Furbolgs and Skyborn. And that's what pisses me off so much about these leaks is these people are just making sure. The guy's name is literally Furbolg Skyborn. The very leak just before that, this one was such a massive write-up. It's also another fake leak because he knows too much. He just knows too much. No one that knows this much is ever gonna leak this much because they're gonna get immediately identified. The NDAs will be read through. They will immediately understand who you are. And then they will send the Pinkertons to your house to put you down. Now, Ogre, for example, could be made with the Kultiran female. I did this a long time ago in another one of my videos right here. This was a video from a long time ago. You would take the Kultiran rig and you would make Mock Nathal for the Horde or Ogres for the Horde. Kultiran and male and female would work for Ogre or Mok Nathal. It would work either way. This could work, but they still don't have female ogres in retail. They still don't. And will they ever add them? It's an amazing question, and the answer is very likely no. But not a never say never type situation if the classic dev team is allowed to be fully independent from retail's overreach, and we don't know that yet until BlizzCon. We'll find out at BlizzCon, effectively when they do the Last Titan trailer, and they showcase the Last Titan with Azeroth waking up, breaking the timelines, and creating the alternate universes for all the new RPGs, all the new RTS games, all the new things, because Asha Sharma, CEO of Xbox, has quite literally said, no new IPs. Every single person, every single IP is going to only be in our existing IPs, our existing games. You are not allowed to make unique games anymore. You guys suck. Pick an IP we own that people love and make games in those IPs. Obsidian is working on Fallout. Inxile is working on Fallout. All these studios that Microsoft owns now, Xbox owns now, are going to be working on the IPs. For example, StarCraft, Warcraft, Diablo, Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Fable. What am I missing here? Elder Scrolls Fallout, Doom, Quake. I don't know about Quake actually, maybe Quake. Wolfenstein, and a couple of others. There's about 15 total IPs that the majority of the studios at Xbox are allowed to work on now. You just gotta pick one of those. So we're gonna be getting a shit ton of Warcraft games, a crap load of StarCraft games, of Diablo games. Whether you think the developers or studios that are making those games and these IPs are good or not is irrelevant. Asha Sharma's directive is AAA IP only going forward, no more creativity. Obsidian, you had your shot, you failed. This is it. You're now just going to be making games for these IPs and studios. That's it. So we are now going to move on a bit to this. I just talked about this, where 1.60 got made into a vendor client, which meant it could be data mined. They immediately privated this again and made it so it couldn't be data mined. They went into it immediately. They immediately checked it out, and they immediately said, nope, private again, because people start to data mine that shit immediately. Not just immediately, instantaneously. But it gets better, because they have been working on Classic Plus all the way since October 31st, 2023. 1.115 was used as the client, the internal dev team client, to work on Classic, and then guess what? Boom, to work on Cataclysm. So it was made to work on Season of Discovery, then they worked on Cataclysm in this, then they worked on Mr. Pandaria in this. On top of that, it then goes on to become 1.60. And it's been 1.60 since October 24, 2025, which means they have been working on the backend infrastructure with MOP post clients for a long time now. This internal dev server, dev tools, is vast. But this is what has become Classic Plus. A client that has access to everything up to Mr. Pandaria. It also explains why, if we go all the way back, it ends at MOP. From the very beginning, it ends at MOP. MOP was always the end. From well before Camelot's development, MOP was the finale. Whether MOP merges into the Last Titan, or they try to do a fast WOD, I highly doubt that WOD is happening at all. And if you are a WOD fan or excited for WOD, I just don't think it's happening anymore. And I think that dream is over. I think that dream has come to an end, and I think that dream is effectively done. Camelot is the focus, MOP is dead, and they've been working on it for so long, they already knew from the beginning that MOP was never going to WOD, and that Camelot was the future of Classic. The trilogy, fresh, constantly being refreshed, Classic, TBC, Wrath, Classic, TBC, Wrath. Go to Era when you're done, go to TBC Era or go to Wrath Era. Take your pick of Era and play there, and wait for the next fresh. Over and over again for the rest of your life. I'll see you guys in the retirement home for the next Classic Fresh experience. That shit's gonna be fucking hype. But at the end of the day, Camelot is the focus, and everything points towards that. All of these leaks, all of this fake stuff, it doesn't matter because the world of vanilla is so vast. From the complete rework of the system to all the new zones, to so much content that could potentially be filled out. All the factions that have been untouched. The world of Warcraft is coming back in Camelot. And I will see you guys at BlizzCon when I turn out to be correct. And everybody owes me an apology. And my new nickname in the community is Prophet Evan. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike and subscribe, but be a dedicated hater. Don't half-ass your hatred, full ass it. Leave a creative hate comment. Thank you all. Evan Hart out. Peace.